Sure. Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
Can we start with the team news? Is Boufal's toe now okay for him to start?
I must say that it's getting worse, and this is not good, not a good signal. Yeah, it was after the game, and the reaction was not the best one. So for tomorrow, would be difficult, I think. Maybe for the bench, but not for the beginning, in no case. And yeah, not really positive this message, but he will not train today, I think. Still pain, and yeah, we have a look. The rest of the team is so far fit.
This must be so infuriating, a player who's at his toe on his kitchen table.
Yeah, it's what shall I say? He showed last game how important he is for us, and it was important that we had him from the bench to Sabin, and finally we hope that this injury gets better, but we have now a lot of games in the next time, and so we must look that the treatment is going the right direction, and that the toe is getting better.
It was a vital win against Watford. I mean, how big would back-to-back wins be, given that it's Norwich next?
Yeah, absolutely massive for us. The first win at home was also an important signal, turning the table in a home game. After the game, I was a little bit frustrated about the first half. When I watched the game once again, I must say it was better than I thought. The only problem was that we have a few moments where we struggled on building up and taking too much risk in behind. I think this was not perfect, especially from Alex. Sometimes we had a few mistakes, and that it was then the moment where the crowd was a little bit mooning, and I think it's normal, but we must avoid these moments. And I think the rest of the half we could see that we tried to find a solution against a very deep defending opponent, and I think we did it a few times very well. Also in the first half, the second half was sure much better. So the game plan and how we tried to work on was okay, and the rest was about mentality, intensity in our game, and a few good subs that they put more pressure on the back five from Watford, and finally then with the good chances to turn the table.
Ralph, a year ago today, Southampton sacked Mark Hughes. Southampton then were 18th in the table, and fast forward a year, we're still 18th in the table. Do you feel you made progress?
When I was coming here, I knew that the job I take here is not the easiest one because of our limits we have in the club. We have our special way. We have our way of developing players, of bringing young players in the team. That takes time, and sure, sometimes everybody wishes that the development goes quicker, but I think we had moments where we were really proud of this team, and we have very difficult moments also, especially with our difficult schedule this season in the beginning. So if you ask me, I still love my job here, and I think the way we showed how we are committed in the last months and weeks was a special one for me, and that gives me the signal that it was the absolutely right decision to come here, because we are a special club, and we know about the difficulty of our way. And this way we go together, and I think this is the only chance for us to develop the young players, to make them better, and with our possibilities we have to have the most possible success, and this is our goal.
Since your first game at Cardiff, it's 11 wins from 37 in the Premier League. Is that good enough, do you think?
It's never good enough. It's good enough when you are first, then it's good enough. But you always want to take more wins, and there are still a lot of issues in our game that we can work on. But again, this is the Premier League, and the Premier League is the toughest in the world. And for us, with our financial options we have, we try to do the best there, and the identity for us is that we are a hard-working club, and this is what we must do. And if we do it, and if we go this way together, and are this committed like we have been in the last weeks, and I must say that I feel absolutely commitment in this club, and this can make the difference in the end.
After Saturday, Quique Sanchez-Flores lost his job at Watford, and also Unai Emery's last Premier League game was at Southampton, and a pattern seems to be emerging that if you play Southampton at the moment, it's it's not good news if you're a Premier League manager. I mean, are you the Grim Reapers of the Premier League right now?
Yeah, I think it's not a good signal for us that if you don't win against us that you get sacked. So it's no, but I think Unai had to win the game against Frankfurt at home, so it was not our fault that he has to go, but we had a chance to win there. That's right, because we made a good game there. In the end, I think we have now 12 points. I think the seventh in the league has 19 points, so it's very, very tight together, everything. And if with 2-3 wins, you are suddenly in the middle of the table, and we have in the next week's opponents that we can beat, and this is the only goal we have, to take as much points as possible in this year, and then we have a good position and not more for the second half of the season. And for me, the table is the first time is interesting when you played every team once, and then you can say, okay, you did a good job or not so good.
Just finally, from the Premier League managers are losing their jobs. Obviously, Watford made a change at the weekend. The table is still looking scary. How much pressure are you feeling under?
I think every manager has the pressure because, as I said to you, the table is very tight and very close together. The position, the points in between are not so much. So if you lose 2 games, you are immediately struggling. And if you win 2 or 3, then you are up in the table. But it's not a sprint; it's a marathon until the end of the season. And last season we knew in December that it's a race until the end, and in this season it's the same. So we know what it's about. This is the good thing, the positive thing. It's not surprising for us that when we are in this area, and we know how to handle it, and that it's something that forces everything, demands everything from you, and we are prepared.
Hi Ralph. Just if I could take it back to this being your first year in charge, how do you feel you've developed as a manager and as a coach over from when you first arrived to now?
Yeah, I hope my English was getting a little bit better. So the wash machine is gone, I think. Now I know it's a washing machine. And I think I made a lot of experiences. I think it was a very, very intense year for me also, and especially the last weeks. We learned a lot about what can happen if you make a few mistakes or a few problems in the team, and it's important that you go through such a period as a manager. I know that I had a lot of success in my past as a manager, and it was a new situation for me. But as I told you, when I was coming here, I knew that it was a different challenge, like coaching a Champions League club. So I was from the first moment clear that this can happen, and you must be strong in every moment here.
Has anything taken you by surprise over the last year?
Yeah, I told it always, or I said always that it was surprising for me how strong this league is. So how strong the teams are and how difficult it is to take a win in every game. But I must say I love this league. I love to work here, and I love this way of playing football here in this league. It's not a surprise or not a coincidence that everybody around the world loves the Premier League, because the intense of the game and the way we see the games here, even the big teams don't go somewhere and say it's an easy win. No, you have to fight for every point and for every win, and this is something very, very special for this league, and that's the reason why I really enjoy working here.
And if I could just take it to Norwich now, obviously Danny Ings has been in great form, but Ward-Prowse has now started getting amongst the goals. How important is that it's not always on Ings to get the goals and other players can now chip in?
We have 2 now, 2 guys that are scoring. It can be more, so we have 11 on the pitch. So okay, except the keeper, I think everybody can score, and should be positive. Is positive that we have 2 guys. They know how to score, and especially Ings is not only because of his goals and a fantastic performance in the moment, because he's working unbelievably. He was last week sometimes more running than a centre midfield player or something. That was really impressing for me, and it's not a coincidence that he gets something for it, and he gets the goals, and because he's there where he has to be, and this is important for us, sure.
When a team like Southampton are struggling like they are at the moment, does that just highlight how good Ings is at the moment, that he can continue to score in a team that is at the wrong end of the table?
The goal must always be that we find more players, they give us goals. More players to defend goals and more players they can score also. So everybody has the responsibility to if he has the chance, take it. And we had in the last game also a few chances. Long he had 2, I think, but still we know that we have more players in the squad that can score. And Musa was scoring twice, I think, and he's always when he's near the box dangerous for everybody. And we in the offense we have enough weapons, I think, in the moment.
Thank you.
Thanks. Ralph, would you say this last 12 months has been your most challenging as a manager?
No, because every club and in every position it's challenging. I remember the second year in Leipzig where we had the first time this Champions League rhythm with 3 games a week, and it was absolutely demanding, and it was not less challenging, although maybe you win more, but it's the same. It's a new experience, and it's absolutely challenging at all, and the workload, the intense of the work is as you know how we work, it's always a high one. So we cannot say maybe it's more fun if you win more, but it's not less challenging. So it's a different way of working, but you don't invest less time. Maybe you have a little bit more nice sunshining moments. This is not because of the weather outside in November, but it was not really the nicest month in this 12 months.
Obviously, you're someone who immerses yourself in the game. You're quite animated on the touchline when you win or when you lose. How do you go home and switch off from football? Do you find it difficult?
Sometimes yes, sometimes it's easy to switch off, and it's not really, it depends on the result. What I must say is was really surprising for me is, especially after the 9-0, I spoke a few times about that I get a very, very much, what does it mean when you get something from another manager? Support, yes. From other managers, it was something completely new for me, I must say, and it was from well-known managers, and this is something that that was surprising for me, but that gives you also a lift sometimes, because you are not on a better emotional path than your team. So this can help you, and if you go through such moments with the team and with the fans and with the whole club, I think this also can commit you, and I have the feeling that we are now more committed than before this period of not winning, and this must give us the power and the energy for this fight for the last how many games do we have? 20 or 24, I think.
You spoke about obviously the need for goals from elsewhere. Someone who was scoring quite regularly when you first came in was Nathan Redmond. Hasn't really happened for him this season. Obviously you took him off during the last game. What do you make of his form?
Yeah, I think Nathan, we know about his quality. We know that he can do it better than in the last games. I think against Arsenal it was a good one. I was happy with him against Arsenal, but against Watford he was a little bit too less brave in my opinion, and he can do more. 1-against-1 is a big quality from him, and he took sometimes the easy way to pass back, and this is not this Nathan I want to see, and this is why I was critical with him. I hope he's also self-critical with himself, because this is the most important thing for a player, I think, to be self-critical. I'm always self-critical. I try to be self-critical, because that's the only way to get better. And if you want to get better, then you must see what was good, what was not so good, and then you can make the next step. If you think you make everything right, then I think it's not easy to get better. But I think if he looks self-critical on his game, then he knows that he can do it much better. And as you said, last season he scored very often. He was maybe the most dangerous attacking player in our squad. And this season so far, the impact was not so big.
You think maybe in some ways it would have been a wake-up call to him coming off in that game against the weekend?
Yeah, I think when you get substituted after 55 minutes, I think you haven't done very much right. So can see then however he wants. But I sometimes he needs a Knudl, sometimes he needs also a hard shoulder. I think it's important for him to I try to bring the best out of him, and this is my job with every player.
There was that famous scene a couple of seasons ago when Pep Guardiola confronted him on the pitch, and Redmond said that he wasn't getting the best out of himself. So you can probably understand now what Guardiola was saying to him.
Yeah, but it's not only Nathan Redmond that not always gives his best. This is in the Premier League. There are so many players. They sometimes not playing on high performance. The pressure is massive also for the players every weekend. Everybody wants to see every weekend the best performance at all, and that's not possible. Yes, but I think for him and for every player in my team, it's a very easy way to find back to good performance. And the easy way is invest a lot against the ball, because if you have 2 or 3 ball wins, I'm happy and the team is happy. And then it's not so interesting if you score or create chances or make fantastic things with the ball. I think it's easy to find back if you win balls, if you're online, if you work in the net and to win the ball back. And if you do this, then it's the first big step to be in a positive way. And this must be clear for every player. When he does this, it's easy. And the rest, I think, I can build up on winning balls.
Well, Ralph, very interesting you mentioned you rewatched the first half against Watford, and you keep referring to the St Mary's crowd as normal. Do you think tomorrow things will be better, considering you've got your first home win?
It depends on us, what we do. It depends how we start. And sure, we need sometimes a little bit patience if you play 2-3 times the ball in the back 4 and not immediately forward. We must have the patience to wait for the right moment when the opponent is stretched. But then we must play deep, and then we must create something. This is then the moment where the crowd is getting alive. But not only this moment, also if you win balls, and if we are working like Ingsi did in last game, we have a few scenes. We showed the team where he was hunting there, and then wins the ball or gets a corner, and the crowd was immediately there. So they are very sensitive, and I think if we show them a few habits of our game that are our identity, then I think they are really committed with us.
There was an interesting contrast in the first 20 minutes of the game when you were passing on the back, got a little bit of dissent, whereas in the last 10 minutes when you were passing on the back, you got cheers. Do you think we're finding?
Yeah, it's when you're in the lead, the cheers is easier than when you're in the back, but in the end, I think it's about giving 90 minutes everybody the feeling that we enjoy hard working, we enjoy playing forward, we enjoy playing deep, running deep, creating chances, giving them a good evening or a good game. And this is what we always try. Not always it happens, but hopefully tomorrow we see us from our best side.
Before about a need for a fast start, especially at home, especially the first 15 minutes. Is that something you'll be looking to bring to St Mary's on Wednesday?
Yeah, sure, it can help. But I think the signal after the last game is, and this is also important, that even if we concede a goal, if we stay on hard working and if we believe in what we're doing, we can always turn the table also. So this is, I think, the more important message from the last game.
I want to make one final comment. You've mentioned goal scorers before. I want to bring up a signing that you brought that hasn't been scoring goals or hasn't featured recently. How is Shea Adams developing with the squad right now?
I think Shea, in the training, he shows good movements and good goals and everything, but after the first games, he lost his position to Ingsi, and Ingsi grabbed it with both hands, and now he has to wait for the moment. Maybe there comes the moment where he can play beside him, but I think with Ingsi sometimes fits better a striker that goes a little bit more deep, like Longy or Michael. That maybe fits a little bit better, but I don't know. Maybe it gets the chance to play beside Ingsi, and in the 4-2-2, we have more options in the front and more positions, so the chance is bigger that he can play in the future.
Would you say the current goal right now is for a striker to play alongside Ings to eventually move to a 2 going forward?
Beside Ingsi, there's one position free, and I think every other striker has the chance to grab this position.